feel like you're going back to square one, but you're not. God is saying you're being rebuilt on the correct foundation. God had to remove all those things you built because they weren't set on the cornerstone of Him. This isn't a setback. This is a divine setup from God to finally win, to finally see that breakthrough you've been waiting on for so many years. God has seen you try. He's seen you struggle. And now there's a divine timer going off. God is saying, no more. Time is up. The time of the old is over. It's done. I've deemed it out of service, unoperational, non-functioning. You will no longer be able to keep walking in the ways of old and see any progress. You'll no longer be able to walk in the ways of old and just get by doing it. Because God doesn't want you to just get by in this life. God's plans are not for us to survive. They are to thrive. So be encouraged that if that's you, you're right where God wants you to be. He's bringing you to this place of breaking so that you can finally see true breakthrough. But here's the catch. It comes with a cost. It comes with a willingness to surrender your comfort in order to gain His goodness. And some of you aren't ready for that yet. Because in your minds, you are still equating God's goodness to you being comfortable in this life. But that's not how God works. Think about it. What is good for your body? What gives your body energy and nourishment is not the comfort foods that you crave. And that money that you rely on being there, every paycheck, month after month, might be actually keeping you as a slave in a job that hinders you from your calling. And that social bubble that you function in, the people that you feel safest with, they might tell you what you want to hear, but they're not the people that are going to tell you what you need to hear. See, God's goodness was never meant to be comfortable. It's His invitation to something higher. Because if God gave us a gift that was meant to keep us content, that gift would wrench and rot with time. But God is alive, and He calls us up to things. He calls us higher. We talk about God's promises to pull us out of a pit, but I don't think we really know what that means. His hand reaches for us, but you see, we need to want to reach back, and we need to hold on tight to His hand. Because the enemy has some of you believing that your pit is paradise. Nobody bothers you in your pit. Nobody calls you to anything higher in your pit. And nobody will bother you in your pit or make you think of anyone except for yourself. God is setting off an alarm clock today to wake you up. He's brought you to the place you feared most. He's brought you to the place where you feel like everything around you is collapsing. And it's supposed to be that way. That's God's mercy over your life, because He wants to bring you up into a way of new, of Him, of life. So God is saying, no more. The old won't work anymore. I'm putting my foot down. And now you're left with a choice. Will you choose to grab onto His hand that's reaching for you? Will you retreat in your comfort or rise in His goodness?